Hey everybody, welcome to Brain Better. Today, we're going to go over the 8 struggles only introverts can relate to. If you're an introvert, make sure to watch until the end of the video because we want you to know that you are not alone in this journey. If you're not an introvert, it's also important to be aware of the struggles that introverts around you are facing every day so that we can shape a society that's more understanding towards introverts. Also, if you find this video value-adding, make sure to subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to provide more values to you through our videos. Now, let's get straight into our topic today, the 8 struggles only introverts can relate to. Society often values and magnifies extroverted traits over introversion. They often view introversion as a weakness. They tend to view introverts as less capable or successful. They tend to view introverts as less competent because they are not as outgoing or assertive as extroverts. Due to introverts' observant and introspective nature, the negative impact resulting from these stereotypes can be magnified significantly, creating an even bigger challenge for introverts in education, the workplace, and in their personal lives. It's important for us to understand that introversion is different from shyness or social awkwardness. It has more to do with how this group of people respond to stimulations. Just like extroverts, introverts can bring unique strengths and values to the table. They too can be successful leaders. They should not be judged or discriminated against just because of their introverted traits. It's important that we recognize and celebrate the diversity of personality types and to create a society that is inclusive and supportive of all individuals, whether they are introverted or extroverted. In order to shape a more inclusive and supportive society, we first need to know the struggles introverts are facing in their daily lives. So, here are the 8 struggles that only introverts can relate to. Number 1. People constantly ask, "Why are you so quiet?" Telling introverts that they're quiet is just like pointing out the obvious. They know they're being quiet, but for a reason. It could be either they're thinking or processing. It could be they don't know you that well and are not exactly comfortable talking to you yet. It could be they're around a large and loud group that overwhelms them. Most introverts know that there's nothing wrong with being quiet. However, most of the time, when they are already feeling a bit overwhelmed and self-conscious in a large group, drawing attention to their quietness just makes everything so much worse. Sometimes they are already trying everything they can to interact with other people. They are already trying so hard to blend in and just be like any other normal people. Then someone comes and asks them, "Why are you so quiet? Say something." This will once again place what they have been really self-conscious about in the spotlight, which is another thing they are not used to, being the center of attention. Except that now the attention is on something they have been struggling to believe is not a weakness. Asking "Why are you so quiet?" makes introverts feel even more anxious and judged, like there's something seriously wrong with them. But hey, have you introverts ever thought that those who ask "Why are you so quiet?" may be struggling just like you? They may feel uncomfortable and not used to silence. So next time when someone asks you "Why are you so quiet?" remember that they're not necessarily asking from a position of strength. So just be yourself and follow your pace. Number 2. People make you feel weird for wanting to do things alone. Introverts feel perfectly normal to do things alone. In fact, they enjoy doing things alone because that's when they can dive into their inner world, reflect, refuel, and contemplate ideas. Spending time alone is when they're at their most productive state. However, the social norm makes most people believe that being alone is undesirable and that we should always be seeking out social interactions. This can be extra challenging for teens, as this is the stage when they tend to be insecure while trying to figure out their identity. They are also constantly seeking validation and approval from others. If spending time alone comes across as weird or even negative based on the social norm, introverted teens would then avoid doing that, which can be really detrimental to their mental well-being in the long term, because personal time and space is exactly when introverts get recharged. Therefore, if you happen to know any introverts, please respect their need for personal space and time, and don't judge them. Number 3. Juggling between social obligations and personal time. Unlike what most people believe, introverts do enjoy a certain degree of social interactions. However, after a prolonged period of social events, they will require some alone time to get recharged. Therefore, it's a constant struggle for introverts to juggle between social obligations and alone time. On one hand, they don't want to be seen as antisocial, someone who is not fun, someone who always says no. But on the other hand, the thought of social exhaustion terrifies them. If you're facing the same struggle, it's important that we find a healthy balance between social interactions and personal time so that we can keep our mental well-being in check. Number 4. Small talk is a nightmare to you. When you see an acquaintance at a grocery store, what is your first instinct? Would you go and say hi, or would you avoid eye contact and pretend like you didn't see him or her? Well, most introverts dread small talk because it usually involves superficial conversations with people whom they barely know. This type of conversation requires extra effort and energy from introverts, who may find this type of interaction extra energy draining. The pressure to act as outgoing and extroverted can be even more exhausting to them. However, it's important to know that small talk is the key to deeper connection. It also opens the door to so many possibilities and opportunities. Therefore, as exhausting as it may be, the next time you bump into your acquaintance, drag yourself to go to them and say hi. If you're worried about what you're gonna say, just ask questions. You don't have to do all the talking. Ask something that the other person is interested in. Small talk is a skill that can be learned, and if you want to know more tips to get better at small talk, you can watch our video on the simple conversation starters that can get you talking to anyone. Alright, before we go on, just want to do a quick check with you introverts who are watching this video. Are you able to resonate with the struggles we share in the video so far? If yes, do share this video with people around you so that they too can understand the struggles of introverts and be more supportive instead of judging them. Number 5. You struggle to pick up phone calls. What is your first reaction when you receive a call from an unknown number or from an acquaintance? Would you pick up the phone comfortably, or would you be hesitant to pick up the phone while secretly hoping for the call to go into voicemail? Most introverts prefer texting over calls as it gives them time to think and prepare for their response. But phone calls can't offer them the same space to think through their response, which is why they don't really prefer phone calls. Number 6. People tend to misunderstand you. Since it normally takes some time for introverts to warm up to people whom they have just met, people tend to perceive them as unapproachable or even rude. However, once you get to know them, they can be one of the most amazing and thoughtful friends. Number 7. You tend to overthink stuff. Due to introverts' reflective and introspective nature, they tend to think more compared to others. And sometimes it can come to an extent of overthinking things. And the loneliest thing is when people around you can't exactly relate to you, and they just brush you off by saying, "You're worrying too much, stop stressing out, why are you overthinking again?" If you're going through the same experience, it's important to know that you're not alone in this. Whenever you find yourself overthinking things, share it with someone whom you can trust, someone who can help you. And if you have any introverted friends seeking help from you, sharing their emotions with you, please know that it means you really matter to them. And it's important that you listen to them without judging. Validate their emotions and don't dismiss their emotional experience. Number 8, you struggle with self-confidence. Well, to be exact, introverts don't necessarily struggle with self-confidence issues, but it's rather the stereotypes about introverts that lead them to doubt themselves and struggle with their self-worth. All the negative stereotypes about introverts are constantly suggesting that introversion is a weakness, and in order to achieve greater success in life, we need to act extroverted. So all these stereotypes, plus the higher tendency of introverts to overthink things, can often result in self-confidence issues. Therefore, it's important that we stop stereotyping introverts and start building a society that's supportive and inclusive. Alright, we've covered all 8 struggles only introverts can understand. If you're an introvert, check out the next video here because we'll be sharing with you why being an introvert is not a bad thing at all. Also, if you have learned something today, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on all these value-packed videos on communications, mindset, leadership, and so much more. See you in the next video. Bye!